Drake ain't had no struggle in his life.
No.
He was doing good in Canada. He was dancing with his white friend.
Drake?
All right, so let's have a little interesting conversation today. Now, Karlous Miller from the 85 South Show, very incredible podcast, I might say. He did an interview with Shannon Sharpe, and they started talking about the Drake and the Kendrick beef. And Karlous had a very interesting take on Drake, and I'm here to let y'all hear it. Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe. Let's get it.
I don't think they ever liked Drake.
They
never liked Drake. But the man done put so many people on. How many people done? I mean, think about it. He too easy to hate on. Everything going right. Nigga tall, light skin, got curly hair. All the women love him. All his music good. Got a whole bunch of money. Ain't even from America. He too easy to hate. Then you got Kendrick Lamar. He grew up like us. He put his mama Van on his album cover. He struggled for real. His daddy drunk asking for the dominoes.
Right.
He had to grow up in Compton. Nigga, it's rough out there. Drake ain't had no struggle in his life.
No.
He was doing good in Canada. He was dancing with his white friend, Jewish uncle. They having bar mitzvahs, good investments. You feel me?
Yeah.
His mama family got their check. Kendrick going through it, bro.
Yeah.
He had a rough life. That's too, Drake shouldn't have messed with him anyway. You don't start no with nobody from Compton. Compton? Hell no. They've been running the rap game since 91.
Right.
Why would you do that? Out of all the people to beef with? I'm telling you, Drake, he's still Drake though.
Yeah.
He could drop one of them.
Oh, he finna
drop a whole R&B album and don't even worry about no rap no more. He good. But that was very interesting. And big salute to Kendrick Lamar. He took it to another level on that one.
All right, now Karlous had me laughing. He said, Karlous is crazy. He said they was out there living good with good investments. good investments. Yo. Now, I liked his commentary because he gave props to Drake and Kendrick. But obviously, he relates to Kendrick a little bit more. And he's at that age where you start to think about struggle in the past and shit you went through a little bit more than if you was younger. You know what I mean? Like, he at that age where he want to talk about real shit and he wants to hear real shit. So, of course, Kendrick's music probably hits home or touches his spirit a little bit more. And I'm not mad at that. I've told y'all many times before when I'm not trolling the Kim Barbies out there that I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. If you ask me, I feel like Drake might be 1A and Kendrick is 1B. I don't feel like they that far apart, in my opinion. It's the same conversation you have about Drake and LeBron. It's hard to not say that LeBron is in that GOAT conversation. It's just hard to do, and that's how I feel about Kendrick and Drake. But this is a very important conversation to me because I saw a tweet. Now, this is a response to what Karlous said in the Shannon Sharpe interview. Now, this is about the conversation of struggle, okay? And what struggle means to you. And before I get into what they said, I want to ask y'all this question. Is struggle always based on money? Is it a monetary thing, or can you struggle if you got money? Or is the struggle only because you broke? So some Drake fans responded to Karlous in that clip, and they said that's funny. His mom was a public school teacher. Degrassi made him $50,000 before Canadian tax, which ended up being $36K. She got sick when he was 15 and he became the breadwinner, dropped out of high school. And after Degrassi, while trying to become a rapper, worked in a restaurant. Somebody else said, obviously, he didn't listen to any Drake music. Drake told you what his struggles were. I guess it's not something you can identify with. It's easy to invalidate. And I think that's so important. And look, this is not a Drake fan telling you this. This is a common sense thing. Number one, I really feel like it's crazy for anybody to think that Kendrick Lamar get all of this hate when he's considered the GOAT and he only put out 4 albums. He's in that GOAT conversation. I just told y'all he won B to me. But he in that conversation. But he's only put out 4 albums. You know how easy it is to talk about your life in 4 albums versus J. Cole and Drake, who've been working their ass off for all of these years. Drake had to work for that top position. Please don't act like somebody just handed that to him. And if, I can't speak for Kendrick Lamar, but if he envied Drake for his spot, that's idiotic because you know you have not worked enough to be in Drake's position. By the time we got to the middle of Drake's discography, go look at all the albums that Drake has put out. He's told us everything about his life. Fans know more about Drake than Drake know about himself. I think J. Cole said that shit too. And it's the same thing for J. Cole. J. Cole has told us everything about himself. Drake has told us everything about himself. We know all about Drake's struggle. If you don't know, it's because you didn't listen to the music. But I'll tell you one thing that fans have always related to Drake is my father wasn't in my life. And even when I was struggling and I wasn't rich and I wasn't a multimillionaire, he used to send his dad money to the States before he made it big. And we watched Drake rap about the transition from I'm rich now, my dad is back in my life, and how do I figure that out? And how do I forgive him for all of the shit he did in the past and just let it go because now I'm rich and I know, obviously if your son become Drake, you want to get back in his life. You kind of want to benefit from that. And we saw Drake rap about that and get to the point where you could tell he wasn't really fucking with his dad. And now you look at Drake and his father and you would think they like this. But he's rapped about that whole transition and many other struggles that I'm not going to sit here and just explain because y'all just going to say I'm Drake dick sucking. But it's all in the music. And that takes me to the bigger conversation, which is struggle always about just money? And I hate this for our people, but it's just something that we can't escape, which is struggle for Black people is almost like our identity, and mainly financial struggle. Because when you think of Section 8 food stamps, when you think of government cheese, you know what comes with that, right? Is drug use, is rats and roaches, because you so broke that these things come from that, right? You seen crackheads before. You seen people get murdered. You seen shootings and shit like that. All of those things kind of come together. And it's hard when you get out of those situations because we become successful despite our financial issues. It's hard to get to a certain point in your life and not think about the people you left behind and not think about the people who's still in the struggle. So I understand why we as Black people, we tend to relate struggle to money. But I think we also have to understand that every struggle isn't financial based. You can be rich and have an abusive father. You can be rich and have drug fiends and drug addicts in your family. You can be rich and have somebody in your family that was touching somebody. Unfortunately, when you broke and when you growing up in certain areas and certain type of situations, because it's not a lot of money and opportunity there, you have these individuals that's able to slide through and do a lot of fucked up and nasty shit, right? But that doesn't mean in areas or situations where people have money that people aren't able to do nasty, effed up things just because it's money there and people might look the other way. Or you might think, well, that family is rich. They live in that big house. It's nothing crazy going on in that house. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just, I really feel like it's a preference. And I feel like it's what you identify with. But to say that Drake never had any type of struggle just because he didn't grow up as financially fucked up as Kendrick Lamar, it is kind of ignorant. We got to be real about that. But also, everybody's struggle is different. So I can say, yeah, they both had their struggles, but Kendrick Lamar's struggle is different and is more relatable to the American audience, right? Like, that's a more political way to say it. Because just like, for example, I feel like Logic has rapped about his struggle. And Logic wasn't rich, but remember, Logic looked like he white. So, you know, people don't give a fuck. And see, when I'm talking to y'all about music, y'all got to understand, I'm a music aficionado. I've wasted so much time in my life so I can sit here and tell y'all about Playboy Cardi leaks and, I don't know, KRS-One, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Big Pun, Big L, Big Daddy Kane. What y'all want to do? Like, my music knowledge, it goes all the way back to the late 80s, okay? When niggas was wearing platforms and shiny shoes, okay? When your boy Ice-T was doing motherfucking breakdancing. Okay? Like y'all, I think some of y'all know I go back like that and I know my shit. So when I say stuff, it might sound crazy to y'all, but at least y'all know I'm not just some young nigga just speaking out the side of my neck. Okay? So yeah, I can admit that Drake has rapped about his struggle. Now, I'm from Detroit. Do I resonate more with Kendrick Lamar's struggle? Yes. But at the same time, like I said, I'm asking this question to y'all. Is struggle just based on money? Okay? And I think this is a very important conversation to have for the culture, all right? So let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.